Hello everybody, it's Linda's Paper Garden. This is Linda, and today I wanted to show you another purse. We're going to do a purse today, and this is a fairly large purse. It's 10.5 by 8.5, so that's a fairly large purse, and it does stand just like that, and it is operational. You can use it. It's very sturdy. Here's the bottom. And we have the top, and when we open it up, we can see down inside. And we can use this purse. You can put a billfold, you can put your iPhone, you can put your keys, whatever you want to put in it. Okay? So this is the purse that we're going to make. So let's get started. You will need designer series paper, and you will need coordinating colored cardstock. Okay, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. So let's bring in our pattern paper. I have chosen, this is the Amanda Park paper from Paper Park Paper. This is the designer series paper. And then for my coordinating color, I have chosen, we're going to use the cream vanilla craft tone paper. Okay, this is from Craft Tone, and it's cream vanilla. Okay, you will need 3 sheets of this paper, and you will also need 2 sheets of the designer series paper. And everything that we're going to use, we can get out of 2 sheets of designer series and 3 sheets of the cardstock. And I'll set this aside just for a minute because I want to bring in the smaller cuts that we've made. And I've already cut all of this out because it did take a little while to do that. You will need 2 cuts by 3 by 6. You will need 2 cuts, and this is the 12-inch paper that we're using. You will need 2 cuts that are 1 inch by 12 inch. You will need 2 cuts that are 1/4 of an inch. And I did not have this in the 12 inch, so I used the 11 inch, and we will center it on what we're going to do with it. You will need another cut, and all this will be down in the description box. Another cut of designer series paper, which is 4.5 inch by 1 inch. And then you will need some I used the decorative gold, and I patterned it, just put a little bit of pattern in it because it was flat, like this gold is flat, and I wanted a little bit of pattern in my paper, and I'll show you how to do that as we go along. Okay, so, and all like I said, all the description will be, cuts and descriptions will be in the description box below. Alrighty, so let's set this aside just for a moment. You will also need, while we're at it, some Velcro. That's how we're going to close up our purse. And you will need 4 flat pearls, and these are 1/2 centimeter. Okay, set that aside, set this aside, and let's get started. So bring in your designer paper and your cardstock paper. Now this design was really simple. I just folded my paper in half, and then I cut it out, and then unfolded it, and this is the pattern that I came up with. So you will need 4 cuts, 2 in designer series paper and 2 in your cardstock. What we are going to do, guys, is we want to make our purse sturdy, okay, very sturdy. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to adhere our designer series paper to our cardstock. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, for those who's been watching my tutorials and have subscribed, you notice that I changed my matting because it was really hard to see my designer series paper on my matting, so I changed it to a gray so we could see better. Okay, Now, the way I adhere this is I just come down here, sort of get it on there, and then I just bring it up and center it. Get it on my paper, okay? And we are going to wallpaper this paper down, because we definitely do not want any bubbles in our paper at all. And if you notice, we might have some to cut a little bit, trim off a little bit, because when I cut this out, I cut the designer paper and then I cut the cardstock. Okay, so let's set that aside just for a minute and let's do the other side. Okay, now all I done was I turned it around to see which one looked the best. Okay, and I believe this does. Okay, so let's put some glue, art glitter glue. I'm using art glitter glue. And again, I'm not going all the way to the edge because my glue will flatten as I go along. Alrighty. Get it somewhat on the paper. Okay. Now let's wallpaper it down. As you can see, guys, sometimes my glue, I do get a little bit of glue spillage. Okay, now let's set that aside just for a minute. I want you to bring in your cut that is 8 inches by 6 inches. And we are going to score this. Okay, now I've already pre-scored it, but I'll show you how I want you to score it. Okay, I want you to lay it on your 6-inch side, and I want you to score it at 2 and at 4. Okay, alrighty. Then we are going to varnish that. Get my scoreboard out of the way, and we are just going to simply varnish that. Okay. Now, I want you to open it back up and lay it where your 6-inch is facing you. The 8-inch going down, the 6-inch facing you. I want you to bring in your 2 panels. And we are going to lay our panels, our purse panels, in I need to lay it this way, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. I am laying this the wrong way. Here we go. I laid it the wrong way. I want you to make sure that your mountain fold, I want you to lay it to where you have a box, and then unfold it. It takes a minute, guys. Alrighty, and then we're going to lay our panels just like this. Okay, to where you can see your pattern paper. And I'm going to trim my pattern paper just a little bit, not my pattern, but my cardstock. Just a little bit, because I have a little that's peeking out. Okay, so again, lay your cardstock down on your 8-inch going down, and to where when you pick it up you have a box. Then just flatten it out. Okay, Then we're going to lay our panels just like this on this side, on the right side of your score line. Okay, we're going to take our glue, not hitting our score line, but just making a path down. We're going to fill all this in with glue. Okay, guys? And we are getting ready to adhere our purse panels to the bottom of our purse. Okay? So, a good rule of thumb I've found when I make my purses here, this purse in particular, is just have a little hangover right there on each end. Okay? Now, press that down. Press that down. And we are going to wallpaper, making sure that we still have our fold, and we do. Okay? Now, come over and do the same thing on your left side. Fill it in with lots of glue because we want it to stick. We want it to hold really good. Okay. And we'll bring in just like that on both ends. Okay. And then we're going to wallpaper it down. Just wallpaper it down. And we should have something that looks like this. Just like this. Our bottom. I think I'm going to pick that up just a little bit and move it just a tad closer. Okay. Just a tad closer. Alrighty. So we have our bottom. Now we need to make our purse stand. Okay? So the way we make our purse stand is we got to put two side panels in. So we're going to put two side panels in. Our side panels are, we'll set this aside for a minute. Our side panels are 3 inches by 6 inches. Okay? 3 inches by 6 inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay our panel in our scoring board. And we're going to score this in several places. So on your 3-inch side, I want you to score it at a 1/2 inch, I want you to score it at 2.5 inches, turn it, and at 4.5 inches I want you to score across. Now we're going to turn it back around this way, and we are going to score at 1.5 only to the 4.5 inch score line that we just made. So come down and score on the down to the 4.5 score line. So you'll have 3 scores marks across, 2 will go all the way down, and 1 will go only to the 4.5 score line. So let's do that again, okay? I'll show you that again. So bring in your 3 by 6. This is their side panels. Score all the way down on the 1/2 inch line. Okay. Come over and score at 2.5. Turn your paper. Score at 4.5. Turn it back around and score at 1.5 only to your 4.5 score line. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to cut away some of our paper. Let's go ahead and score it. Okay. And I'm only going to score the sides and the bottom for right now. Okay. At your 4.5 inch mark, I want you to cut away this 1/2 inch score mark that you have here. Okay. So just come up. And then turn it around and cut that off. Okay. Come over. Do the same thing. And cut away. I want you to come back up again and just at a diagonal, just at a slight diagonal, I want you to trim away to the score line. Okay, and I'll show you why just in a minute. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Let me bring this in so you can see that. So you should have something. Here is your score lines. So you should have something that looks like that when you get finished. Okay? Now let's do the other one. Score. Then we're going to cut away. Let's cut away. Now, when I would do this, I would normally just go ahead and cut at an angle. And I'll do that right now to show you. But sometimes, if we've not made a lot of these, we want to do it the way I just done the straight line down. So I'll go ahead and come back over and cut that out. Alrighty, so there is our two sides. So let's go ahead now and attach our two sides. And this is how we're going to attach them. Laying out, zoom out so you can see now. Laying out our purse, we are going to your 4.5 score line, in between your two purse layout, we are going to attach this. And it's going to stand up like that. Okay? So we're going to attach the bottom first, and the way we attach it is we put glue right below our score line and all the way around. And then fill it in. Okay? Come over, I'm going to turn it this way. Come over and with catching right there, press down. That's why, see guys, I had you to cut this out, because we don't want to get on our score line, on these score lines. So we want to have just a little bit of play right there. Okay? Turn your purse around and do the same identical thing. Add your glue right below your score line. Okay. Come to your purse and in between your score lines, just press down. Okay. Now, how are we going to get this to come up? Real simple, guys. We are going to fold back we're going to fold back our score line, and I'm going to cut this at an angle just to give it a little bit of take a little bit of bulk out that, okay? So come here with your glue, and we are going to glue down pick up your purse. I'll do it that way, maybe you can see it better. Keeping this lined up with your 8-inch bottom, simply glue it down, okay? And I'm going to press out my bubbles, anything that would be a bubble, okay? Now, we'll do this side next, and I'm going to go ahead and trim off just a little bit so we don't have too much of a bulk there. Bring this over, glue it down, put your glue on there. Line it up with this here and glue it down. Okay. And then we'll take our bone folder and we'll press down and press out any air bubbles that we might have. And guys, we will do this the other side the same way. We're going to do the other side the same way. Okay. Add in our glue. And I'm going to go ahead and add the glue on this side. Okay. And then I'm just going to press down just like I did the first side. Okay. Just like I did the first side. And then we will take our bone folder and we will press it down, making sure that there's no air bubbles and that it adheres to our panel. Okay. Now guys, there is our purse. There is the layout of our purse. Okay. So we have our bottom. We have our sides. We'll give this a minute to dry, and then I'll show you why we done our score line in the center. But in the meantime, it's time to decorate and add our handles. Okay? So let's go ahead and do our decorative pattern here. Now what I done is I wanted a little bit of shine, a little bit of glitz on my purse. So I took a piece of gold and I simply, and I will show you real quickly how I done this, I simply took my scoreboard and I went down an eighth every eighth, and then I turned it and went every eighth. And I will show you real quickly what I mean by that. Okay, let me get out my scoreboard. And I've got a piece of gold here that I want to show you what I done. Okay, so I just found my center here. And then I just went over and started marking every eighth. Okay, every eighth. Now, I'm just going to turn it around, and instead of trying to work real tight to the edge, I just turned it around and just come down. Okay? Now that's got my pattern going down. Now I wanted to make it a little puff. So, what I done, and let me bring this in so you can see this. Okay, so what I done, so you can see every eighth I done a line. Now I'm just going to start here somewhere, and I'm just going to come down every eighth. And that gives me my pattern. Okay? And I would do the same. Okay? And just turn it around and pick up your eighth and just come down with it. Okay? Now, when we get to the point of where we need to fasten, I want to show you how I done that real quick while I've got this out. I made, on this purse here, I used just stones, okay? But I didn't have any gold stones that really looked good with the gold paper. It was more of a yellow stone than a gold stone. So that's why I made a pattern. So I took my gold paper that was plain, I patterned it, and then I brought in my 1-inch circle cut, and I just went in and cut out a circle. And that's what we're going to use instead of our rhinestone, okay? So let's lay this over, and so on my purse, we're going to put a decorative piece right here, okay? And it is a 1/2 inch, and it will come over on each side. And I've done that purposely. I made it so I could just trim it, and that way it would trim right to the pattern shape of my purse. Okay, so let's add that. Okay. Letting the bottom come to the curve, the top of the curve. Okay, now, let me get, I use baby wipes to remove any excess glue off my fingers. Okay, I'm going to turn that over while this is drying, and we will put the other side on. Okay, and sometimes we do get glue on our fingers, like right now. Come to your bottom. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Let me get the excess glue, because I got glue from right here on my fingers, and I don't want to get it all over my purse. Okay, now let's go ahead and turn it around and cut the excess off to where we have a great shape. Okay, alrighty, we're just going to cut away following the pattern of your purse. Okay, just like that, following the pattern of your purse. Okay, see here, guys? Okay, now let's go ahead and do the other side. Just follow all the way around the pattern of your purse. Okay, and we'll do this side. And there we go. That was not hard at all, was it? Okay, so far so good. Alrighty, so far so good. So let's zoom out so I can show you the next step. The next step is we are going to bring in our straps for our purse. Bring in our straps for our purse. Now, if you remember, I told you I didn't have any gold that was 12 inches long, so I had to use 11-inch strips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure, and I marked it with a pencil that you won't be able to tell. You'll never see that pencil mark there. 1/2 inch on each side, because that will be hid by our decorative piece. So let's go ahead and let's glue down our gold piece. Okay. Running a bead of glue all the way down. Alrighty. Center it. As close to the center as you can get. Okay. And we'll let that dry a minute while we do the other piece. Pick up your gold, run your bead of glue down the center, and then attach it to your paper, your strap. Now, I want you to take your strap that you've made, and I want you to just gently give it maybe a couple times, so that way it's curving. Okay, that way when we get ready to put it on our purse, it will be more agile to work with. Okay. Let it dry just for a minute, guys. While it's drying, let's go ahead and make our strap. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to center our strap, which is the base of it is 4.5 by 1 inch, and the decorative is 1/2 inch by 4.5 inches. Okay. Alrighty, let's put that down. Center as close as possible. Alrighty. And we will let that dry for a minute. Now, let's go ahead and bring in our purse. Remember I told you we were going to score. Okay, so what I want you to do is just gently put your hands, your finger, and close. And that gives us the side of our purse, the indentation of our purse. Okay, see the indentation right here? That just gives us an indentation on our purse, so that way when we close it up with our latch, it will be pretty. Now guys, I'm going to, and I've just noticed it, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it off. I'm going to trim off right around my edge right here, because I have a little bit of my cardstock peeking through, and I don't want that. Okay, let's see, do we have any on this side? We do. So let's go ahead and cut that off. Like I said when I was showing you earlier, I cut my designer paper, and then I cut my cardstock, and I cut it by hand. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and attach our handles. And the way we're going to attach them is we're going to bring our handles and make a fold. Let me show you that again. Get the hold of your handle and just bring it to you. Sort of like a hairband, ladies. Sort of like a hairband. And we are going to attach on either side of our purse. Okay, just like that. That's the way we're going to attach. And we're going to bring it to where, right where the bend of our purse starts. Okay, so let's get a little bit. I'm just eyeballing this. Okay, and bring it right to where our bend starts. Okay. Now I'm going to attach. Let me do it this way. Put it on this side. That way it'll just hold good. Okay. Do the same thing on this side. Right where your bend starts is where I want you to place your handle. Get us some glue on here. Okay. Just like that. And we'll attach a clip. Okay. And I might put a little one on this side to hold the inner part of our strap. Okay, just like that. Turn it around and let's do the same thing on the other side. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bringing your fold in right to where your bend starts. And I think I'm going to maybe put my glue on my purse this time. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Attach. And attach. And let's put our fold over here. Okay. And attach. Alrighty, so there we go. Now that'll hold just for a minute until they adhere good. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to, we probably can take these off, the front ones off. We are going to decorate our purse a little bit with, now you can do your pattern going up and down straight, or you can do it diagonal. I'm going to do mine diagonal to where my panel looks diagonal, and that way I won't have to make sure that it's lined up perfectly straight. Okay, so let's just go ahead and attach these. Just like that. Okay, and we'll do the same thing over here. Just doing it on the diagonal. Okay, and I'm going to hold these down just for a minute, just for a couple seconds, to make sure that they are adhered. And there you go, guys. Okay, now let's turn it over and do the same thing on the back side. Do the same thing on the back side. And we're just about finished, guys. Just about finished. Okay, right there. Now, if you want, you could add a pocket back here. I didn't choose to add a pocket, but you could add a pocket if you wanted to. I have purses that I do have pockets, and we'll do one. I have all sorts of designs of pocketbooks that we'll do, okay, in the future. Now, there's that. Turn it around. And the last thing we need to do, guys, is we need to attach it to close it up. So we are going to put our latch on. And I'm going to go ahead and bend this a little bit so it'll be easier to do. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is I just want to go to my back and I want to find my center, and I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, I'm just going to eyeball. Just like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to bring it around and I'm going to close it on this side. Okay? Just like that. But I'm going to bring my closure all the way down to the end of my gold stripping right here. And the way I'm going to do that is I am going to first put on a decorative piece like this. Okay? Just like that. Just like that. And hold it just for a couple minutes. Okay. Till it adheres. And then I'm going to bring in my Velcro. And I'm going to get a bottom and a top. Okay. Hook them together. Well, let's get the rest of them off my finger. There we go. And I'm just going to attach it. I'm not going to attach it to my decorative piece. I'm attaching it to actually the closure itself. Bring it down. Make it even on my purse. I think we can take these off now. Okay, make it even on the purse. And attach. Okay, and guys, we have a purse. We have made a purse tonight. Okay, didn't take long. After you get everything cut out, as I've said several times, prepping is the hardest thing and the longest thing of most of any projects that we will do. Okay, so this is our purse. Now we got one more step to make real quickly, and we'll do it. I want to put legs on my purse. So I'm going to turn my purse upside down. Okay, and I'm going to attach, I'm going to bring this out just a out just a little bit so you can see what I'm about ready to do. Okay, I'm going to attach 4 flat back pearls to the bottom of my purse. Okay. There. And there. Come over and let's do the right side. Okay. I just think this just adds to the purse, is all it is. It's just adding to the purse. Stand it up, and there we go. And we have a purse, guys. We have a purse. And we can use this purse, like I said before, we can use our purse. We can put a billfold in it. You can put your iPhone. You can put a credit card packet in there. Your lip gloss, whatever you want to put in there, because it is usable, guys. It is very much usable. And that is our purse. That is our designer series purse. I'm going to call it my gold floral purse. When I put it on YouTube, you'll see it on as listed as a gold pearl purse. Alrighty, so directions will be in the bottom. Check them out. Please like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please, that would make me very, very happy. Leave me a comment. I will answer your comment. I may not get it right at the back when you leave it, but I will answer your comments. And as always, from my crafting corner to yours, happy crafting.